you from?
I'm from Minnesota.
Fantastic. What can I help you with?
So a little bit of, first off, gratitude. Thank you for having me on. Much appreciated.
Happy to do it, Chris.
I'm a principal of a K-12 school in Minnesota here. And we now have a shelter in place. Our students haven't been in school for quite a while now. One of the things that I'm fielding, and I'm doing my best to support them, are seniors who won't be having a graduation, would be actually our first prom in school history, some of those things. And, I know kind of what your advice might be, and I know what I've been telling them. What more would you provide them? What would you say to them?
Chris, what I'm sure you're doing, and it's why you said, I know what your advice is, obviously you're going to go down the empathy and the compassion and the perspective path, right?
100%.
You go down those three. I would say the final piece of the equation, and maybe the value out of this call, is innovation.
Right.
One could argue that through live streaming and things of that nature, you could have a virtual prom. You
Right.
could have a virtual graduation. It would take a lot of planning by you and the superintendent, teachers, volunteers, parents, and students.
Right.
But besides the, hey, look, thank God we're alive, and hey, maybe we can consider doing something in the summer if some of you want to do it before you guys
Right.
go to college. You could do something fun. And what I love about innovation, like my head goes to so many different ideas. I'm like, would it be cool to, after you do all of next year's classes graduation, as many seniors as want to come back to walk whatever,
Sure.
Football
Yeah,
field
right.
or something. So there's like so many innovations that one
Right.
could do. I mean, I think one of the most hilarious things of all times would be a virtual prom. And, I think some people would get a laugh out of that, dressing up at home and being virtual with their date and things of that nature. You get a DJ to come in, but it's innovation, right? Like your school could reach out to 50 famous Instagram DJs.
Right.
All of them are looking to do stuff right now. One of them says yes. All of a sudden, everybody gets hyped because they have one of the most famous DJs in the world DJing their virtual prom.
Right.
So I think besides the things that probably you and I are connected on based on me hearing you say, I know what you're going to kind of say, and
Right.
even your vibe, I think innovation is the final piece of the equation. And that is a macro sentence for everybody. This is a huge game right now of pie, right? Perspective will solve everyone's anxiety. Everyone's.
Right.
As long as somebody in your family does not die from coronavirus, this is a blessing, no matter even if you lose your business or your job, in the macro of your entire life. If
Right.
you see that and you start innovating, the second part of pie, innovating. This is going to be an incredible month of innovation where in 20 years you'll hear over dinner somebody telling you that their happiness, whether in a personal relationship, whether in a business, whether in a career, happened during the 2 months of downtime during Corona.
Well, my perspective on this whole situation is that it's really disrupting education, and I believe it's in a positive way. Right now, our teachers have had 2 weeks to plan for students working on distance learning, and they're planning for micro. We're looking at macro. What's it going to look like down the road, and how can we leverage this situation and the knowledge that we gain from this to change education? I mean, Gary, I've seen your report card. I know it wasn't.
Sorry, Principal.
Hey, I get it, man. I know it wasn't great, and I guess one of the other questions, as we look into more of the online platform and supporting the distance learning, I think about what can we do to support, reach out and support our kids with mental health and, all of that stuff. And, what else can we bring, but also taking it from an individual perspective, so like, I think back, even looking at your report card, what did you need that you didn't get as a middle and high school kid? What would have turns out you ended up just fine,
What I needed, to your point, I needed, and there was a couple teachers along the way that did dig in humanity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're a nice kid, Gary. This is obviously, that kind of stuff. What they didn't have the flexibility to do was curriculum me individually, right? And I have empathy for that. What I needed to be doing in, freshman year, let me tell you why there was no A's besides Jim. The other A would have been the history of advertising, right? If I was in class being taught why New Coke failed,
right,
I mean, I would have clowned the valedictorian, right?
Sure, right.
And so that's, that.
Well, my school is small enough that we've added an additional class that we call Real World Ready, where they're talking about taxes. They're doing the
I love you.
Character development stuff. They're doing financial awareness. Dave Ramsey program. All of that stuff that we can leverage into other areas.
Chris, let's make a deal here. Next year's curriculum, send me an email right now, Chris, the principal of Minnesota. It's Gary at VaynerMedia. I'd love to come in and give a 45-minute or however long the class is lecture on real world next year on me as a little added bonus.
That'd be awesome, man.
It's done.
Hey,
take care. Thank you.
I'll send it over. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Yep.
All right, giving out some free inspirational and practical talks. Looking on Twitter right now, Caleb Whittle, I'm retweeting you. For any newcomers to Tea with Gary V, if you take a screenshot of this and tweet it with a link to the Facebook Live and say, join us, I will retweet or follow you. Brandon Baker gets a retweet. The MZ family gets a retweet. Sharu gets a retweet. I'll be right with you, Erica. Just giving out some retweets to James T, to Robin. Let's see what else. Devin Alexander gets a retweet. Jace Dean gets a retweet. Steve Hopkins, I'm going to give a follow. Boom. Steve Hopkins gets a follow. Nick C. And Erica is with us. How are you, Erica?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well.
I want to say thank you so much for doing this. It's been a part of my morning routine, so it's just super awesome.
Has it been fun?
It has, and I want to thank Team Gary V for just putting it together. It's just just watching you work so hard just to give back in a time where people are lost, and I mean I'm fortunate enough to work from home, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's just to watch something like this is amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so my question is, I'm a creative person, so I'm an industrial designer. That's what I do for work. I do engineering drawings for displays to build them. But on the side, I feel like I'm a jack of all trades, and I'm trying to figure out how to put everything together. I love doing graphics. That's my poster. I'll make.
Oh my God, that's fucking epic, by the way.
Thank you. It's Celia Cruz.
Damn it, I'm so pissed at myself. I was literally about to say something and then we got right into it, how much I liked it. That's so well done, Erica.
Thank you. I'm just super, super hard on myself when it comes to doing things, and I just don't think I'm good enough. So that really prohibits me from putting a lot of stuff that I do out there.
And do you think that comes from parenting or environment or DNA?
I don't
know. What's your gut tell you?
My parents are great. They're super supportive. My mom, my sisters, everybody's great on that end. I think I'm just super hard on myself.
Let's try to dig for four more. You don't deal well with feedback? If somebody said that poster is not technically sound, or I don't like it, does that hurt you or no?
It hurts, but then I look at, okay, well, can I do it better, or was that just their opinion?
Right. And I think if you could be, I think that's smart. Now, if you broke down 100% of the energy typically on can I do it better? Was that good feedback, or is that just their opinion? Break down 100% of energy. Do you think it's 20-80, 50-50, 100-0? Give me a.
I mean, I think it's probably maybe 80% me not thinking I'm good enough then, and then 20% whether I take their opinion as valid, because it's more about me, less about them.
Yeah, so that's an interesting insight, because for me, it's 98-2, and I'm trying to think about what does that mean? What is the delta between me when people give me feedback? It's 98%. I'm appreciative of your opinion, and 2% of oh, you suck, they're right. Or, okay, let me look at that. 92. Yours being 20-80 in that delta is probably why I put out stuff every second, every day without thought. And what is happening with you not putting out as much. What's super inspiring to me is when I see something that is over your right shoulder that's that good, I'm like, ugh, this girl's got to figure her shit out, because she's fucking got talent. Yeah, I mean, I really think that that's the psychology of why people don't create. because when I see that, I'm like, yesterday I told that young woman, just draw something and post it on Instagram and sell it for $80. You could sell that poster for $800. Like,
right.
And I think, like, what do you want to do with this creation stuff? Do you want to sell stuff? Do you want to do something out? Like, how are you thinking
I
about that?
Sell stuff. Like, I'm grateful for my job, but I don't see myself thriving in a 9-to-5 structured environment for the rest of my life.
If you signed that poster behind you, if you printed 100 of those and signed them and made 1 to 100, 2 to 100, I think you could sell all 100 of those on Etsy for $150 with one single Instagram post. I actually believe that to be true.
Now, do I have to worry about like copyright because it's a celebrity?
Probably. Yeah, probably. But here's the good news. I still think you sell 150 of those, if 100 of those, if that was a picture of a young version of your mom.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I do think, of course, a celebrity IP is going to sell more.
Right, but it doesn't have to be a person is where you're like a famous person per se.
No, I don't. I think there's enough high net worth Latino Americans that may see their mom or grandmother in that, you see where I'm going?
Yeah, no, totally.
See them, and away we go. You have to understand why. That fucking poster's fresh as fuck. That is a wildly contemporary, it's funny. I don't like a lot of the content VaynerMedia makes. I don't like a lot of the content I make. I'm being dead serious. So I'm like any other human. I have an opinion, but I don't think my opinion, even if I'm who I am in the business world or the creative world, don't feel like it's any more valid than, somebody else who's coming on yours or Dustin's or anything else. So what excites me is my opinion is that is a wildly good poster, which what my opinion has shown me in the last 20 years in wine and marketing and content is I do have the every man, every woman opinion. So like more people share my opinion. I've definitely noticed, which is where a lot of my intuition and success has come from. So like when I see that poster, as a matter of fact, what's your Twitter handle?
Oh God, I think
do you have one? Or what's your what's your biggest
Instagram.
Biggest social media? Okay.
I think they're both the same. It's _made by Erica.
Oh, nice one. Okay, _made by Erica. Everybody who's watching right now.
Oh God.
Yep. Go on Twitter or go to Erica's latest Instagram post and _made by Erica. If you are the kind of person that sees a poster like that and thinks it's $100 poster, that style, maybe a different one because that is a celebrity. Just let her know you're one of those people. _made by Erica on Twitter and Instagram. Let this amazingly talented young woman know that and don't go there. Let's not be like a nice community and go there. If you're going to do that, just go and say, hey girl, keep going. But if you're the kind of person that would buy a poster like that, especially if signed by her, 1 to 100 for $100 or so, just let her know. Erica, I can tell you right now, if you're capable of making that poster, you're capable of making $100,000 a year minimum selling fucking posters you make.
Awesome.
And when I say minimum, you could make $1 million a year.
That thought is scary, but I guess in a good way.
Erica, that's a really good poster.
I know. I'm just so hard on myself. I mean, I really like it. I'm not going to say that I don't like it, but I just, to even like share that, it's like a big deal, I guess.
Yeah, because you're insecure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't want you to be. Which is why I'm trying to figure out why. And a lot of people have a ton of great parents who are loving and sweet, but they told them not to take risk because they came from tough situations or they don't have the DNA of a risk taker.
Right. I think that's part of it.
Could be.
I think, definitely that's a good part, part of it. I mean, I went to school for graphic design and industrial design, so that was a little bit of a departure, but that was a way where I can combine my graphics but still find a job.
I get it. The good news is the internet came along in our lifetime, Erica, and you can do that job and start building up Made by Erica and build a business, a real one.
Yeah.
Erica, I'm telling you right now, I want you to email me, Gary at VaynerMedia. I want to commission you to make some posters for me for my office.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not kidding. I'm a nice guy and I do things, but I take a lot of calls, and I wouldn't say this, like, I actually like that kind of style.
Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Like, Erica, no idea.
Listen to me, Erica. You have to take my very nice words right now and not hear them.
Okay.
And you have to take people that say you suck and not hear them. Once you can't hear, is the day you start to live.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Like,
you.
I just,
Just please use this serendipity of the coronavirus leading to me having time to leading to this moment. Take that in. Take in this moment and use that in 3 days when the energy of this call is not here with you anymore. And you start feeling that insecurity. Because you're about to get 87 great comments, 120 great comments, and one person might say, you ain't that much shit. Wait till I talk to Gary Vee. He'll see I'm better. And if you decide to focus on that versus the 87 good, you're going to still be right back to the same place. You have to not hear the good comments. You have to not hear the bad comments. You have to live in a fucking cocoon like I do.
Tune it out, all of it.
You know why?
Why?
Because it doesn't matter.
True.
Did all those opinions of people on your relationships, your looks, your school, your work, your creativity, did all those opinions matter if yesterday you picked up corona and died in a week?
No.
Good.
Yeah, you're right.
Whose opinion has value? Why?
No, I know. And I listen to you all the time. And I mean, like everybody, when is the point where it sinks in?
And the key is, I think what really works for me is I'm saying that to myself every second that I breathe, not occasionally or when I need it. And I'm trying to figure out what that means and how do I get that across.
Right.
One of the other things I just realized, it just hit me. Do you know one of the reasons I don't hear anybody is I'm too compassionate and empathetic that for them, knowing that they have their own life experiences that led them to a positive or a negative comment. Almost every single person that leaves a negative comment to another human being, whether virtually or in real life, is deeply hurting inside.
Yeah, no, and I definitely hear that. Like, I definitely understand that there's more than just a comment, good or bad,
And people are like, oh, Erica, they're just jealous of your skills. And I'm like, let's not even demonize these people that are trying to hurt us. Let's be compassionate to them.
Right.
Compassion is missing. When somebody says your poster's a piece of shit, I'm compassionate. I'm like, man, this fucking person stumbled on my Instagram account and decided to waste a minute trying to tear me down. They must be in such an awful place.
Right. No, that's true. Absolutely. I mean, I definitely see things that way. I guess it's just different when it comes to myself personally,
That means you don't see it differently.
Well, true.
That means you understand the theory, but you're not living it.
Right. Thank you, Gary. Like, there's not enough thanks in the world for just everything you do and you give to everybody. And for this call, like, there's so much value. It's not even funny. Like, and I just really appreciate how making the best out of a situation.
Correct.
So, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Erica. Email me.
I will.
All right, let's keep going. This is Dustin. This is a very kind of like Giving Friday. I'm fucking seminar in a fucking Minnesota school. I'm buying Erica posters. Let's see what Tim's got.
You guys hear me?
No problem.